Jay Bond here, Bond Real Estate Group. It's that time of the month again for your market snapshot update with yours truly regarding real estate sales here on the Central Coast and focusing primarily, of course, on San Luis Obispo County and Santa Maria. Taking a look at just the numbers that have been released over the last few weeks, and I'll take a gander here, bear with me one moment. So looking at the county as a whole, so 271 homes sold, right? And this is PUD, planned unit development, condo, and single family SFR inventory. So countywide, 271 units to move this past month, down from 436 units the same time last year, and down from 545 units in 2020. So we're seeing this kind of gradual decline in home sales from really lack of inventory, I think, is what it boils down to. You know, it's interesting to see this data because it puts in perspective just how many homes were selling in 2020 and 2021. You know, people were saying, oh my gosh, there's no homes for sale. It's like actually more homes have been for sale than ever before, and we're seeing just so many homes selling. And so, you know, right now, again, I've echoed this, you know, the last few months with current market conditions. We did see rates go down just a smidge recently, which is great. People are acclimating, I would say, to current market conditions. Now, again, you know, people still really have this huge and strong mindset that, gosh, Jay, hey, values are going down. And again, I want to really echo this. They are not going down. You know, values are just kind of softening and tapering off, but for the most part, really just leveling and normalizing. They're leveling off, right? They're not necessarily going up, but they're not going down either. They've leveled off. And so with that being said, you know, there's still not a lot of inventory. There's very few homes for sale on the market, which of course is going to keep demand high, right? So as long as the supply demand factor is as it is right now, meaning we would need a huge influx of inventory to really tip the scale to see, in my opinion, a market drop, right? Meaning having more supply than demand with the current interest rate environment. But that's just not the case. So yeah, values are still relatively high, right? You might get 10 or 15% less for your home sale than you would have 9 months ago or last year, you know? But guess what? When you turn around to buy a property, a replacement property, you can actually, you know, negotiate, right? So it's all relative. So hey, I might get 10 or 15 less on my sale, but I also might be paying 10 or 15% less, you know, on my purchase or something close to that, because a trend again that we're seeing right now too is unrealistic expectations from homeowners, right? They're too concerned with their neighbor's house sold for 6 months ago or 10 months ago, you know, this and that. But guess what, guys and gals, we are not in that market any longer. We are in a 180 market. We're in a very different marketplace. So things have leveled off, right? So, and again, it's all relative. You know, don't get hung up on about it, you know, because again, you're going to have negotiating power when you go to purchase as well. But still, values are maintaining and consistent. So if you're a homeowner and you think, gosh, now's not a great time to sell, it's an absolutely great time to sell because values are still relatively consistent and there is very little inventory, which puts you in a great position if you price yourself attractively and you're marketed well, right? So very important. Buyers, again, hey, you know, rates are up a little bit. They trended down a little bit here this past week or so, but overall they're up from, you know, what they were 6 months ago. We're all aware of this, you know, moving forward. But again, rates are still historically low from previous decades. And so, you know, locking in something maybe with a certain loan program between 5 and 6% isn't super horrible right now. And again, marry the house, right? Date the rate. If you love the house, buy the house. Refinance in a year or two if rates end up going down a little bit more or a little bit further, right? But also, too, the biggest thing to keep in mind is sticker price, right? That house that's $800,000, you know, it probably, like I said in the last few videos, may not sell for $8,000 right now. It might sell for $725, you know, $750. So there's a lot of wiggle room there, and you're also not going to have to come out and release all contingencies and, you know, do a lot of crazy stuff. You're going to have time to think and healthy negotiation on both sides of the table. So I think it's a very healthy, normalized market. I don't really think we're going to see a huge jump in unit sales per se. I think we're going to continue seeing this kind of trend down from the last 2 years, just with current market conditions. You know, as more people kind of get through the holidays and we start to acclimate a little bit further and a little bit more so with current market conditions, I think we're going to keep seeing the world turn and everything, go from there. But again, it's all about strategy, right? And how we're selling homes nowadays, or actually nowadays, how we're selling homes in this current market, right, is not how we sold homes last year, right? So strategies have changed. And so, whether it's us, again, we do free consultations, or your own agent, if you want to sit down, really look at, hey, what does a game plan look like for selling my home right now, right? What's a good exit strategy? What are some expectations that I can have through this process? We're happy to sit you through that. And buyers as well. We do consultations. If you really want a good gauge on this process, you need to look at who your team is, right? Your real estate agent or broker, your mortgage loan officer, right? Speaking with them and saying, hey, what are some financing scenarios I can look at that make sense in current market conditions and current interest rate conditions that can work. And I think, guys, there's a lot of creative financing options lenders are setting in motion right now because they want people to feel comfortable getting home loans and buying, right? And so with real estate, again, there is never hugely a good or bad time to buy or sell per se. I mean, sometimes you might make out, a little bit or a lot bit more on a sale than you would have, in a previous, market environment. But at the end of the day, the great thing about real estate is that eventually it will always end up going back up in value or even exceeding that because, again, they're not making any more land. Right? At least I don't think they are anyways. All right. But anywho, so guys, anything else? Have an amazing rest of the week. I always appreciate you tuning in and watching. But right now, again, don't be fearful for the marketplace. Be fearful of sitting on the sidelines and missing opportunity. So that's what I got for you. Have a great day.